What's going on, everybody? I hope everything is well. I'm gonna do like a Leah. Can y'all hear me out there? Turn me up louder. Hope you had a good weekend so far. It actually kind of starts on Thursday, but you know, I get it. Fridays be light work days. At least they should be. At least they should be. Not all the time. I'm just going through my notes to make sure I got everything that I wanted to talk about. Nah, I didn't talk about. I don't think I talked about this, but we're gonna put it over here. Something to talk about. This week was a busy week. Next week gonna be even more busier. They won't let me be great, but that's okay. Today we're gonna talk about some jobs. We might not have a Monday show, because I'll be traveling. Um, we didn't have a show last night. I was tired, but not tired. You know how you were tired, but not tired. That's what I was. I was tired, but not tired. I did enough talking for the week. I think. I was talked out. How's everybody's week? S. Taylor and Meek, what's going on? Those that are not here right now, they're gonna miss a good show. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised Accenture laid off 19,000. Hmm. That didn't open up to nothing. Wonder why. Did they say what division of them 19? Yeah, I'm not surprised. We got a lot to cover today. It's a skill set takeover. That's how I look at it. Oh yeah, here you go. Here's what I was looking for right here. All right, so we're gonna work backwards today. Um, we're gonna kick it off with what I talked about last week with the State Department and policies. And this is was forecasted. This spreadsheet I found was forecasted for. Let me see if I could blow into it a little bit more. Yeah, this was for FY24, right? And so you can see the requirement description, the office symbol, the requirement whether it's new or recompete, the facility security clearance, whether they have none or it's a top secret SCI, the contract number, the NATS code in which this falls under, the estimated value, right? Between 50 to 100 million, 500,000 to a million. And then the number of years of performance on each one of these. And the target award when they were awarded these actual contracts, right? So Q4 right here in Arlington, this is the place of performance. Here's the POC on that contract, all right, and the email address. Now I was able to download this. Why am I telling you this? Because now I can go in and say, okay, that company they need me. They need me. Right? All right. So you can see as I roll through here what's on these contracts. All right. Provide planning analysis, bureau budget, Dell server overseas sites. That's new, secret, line 39. Between 10 million to 20 million, 1 year, released in Q2, in the place of performance is DC. Right? And you can go through GitLab Premium subscription, Nexus Security, IBM Rational Software, HP Hardware Maintenance, Nexus Pro Renewal, Information Technology, a National Passport Information. Right? You can just see going through Nutanix, Support Renewal, CrowdStrike, Falcon Intelligence, Recompete, 500K to 1 million. All right. So when I see things like this, the number one thing I would come over here for myself is sort by the number of years. Right? Come through here and sort by the number of years. And the reason why I'm doing that, because that's where I probably have a better chance of getting some type of work or a connection. Right? All I'm looking for is work and a connection. That's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for work and a connection. Right? I know they need, see, let me tell you how you backdoor this, right? So we just saw somebody needed a GitLab license. So who needs that GitLab license? Who are they working with for that license? Because that's probably where some work is at. AWS, ServiceNow. This is just an easy way to backdoor into who has work and who could use your skill sets. IT equipment, right? I'm just going through and I'm just looking to see who, but I'm down. I don't even know how long this list is. How long is this list? 474 lines. Microsoft Azure. It's a recompete. It tells you the office symbol. So on the top secret, so 9 times out of 10, you probably need some type of clearance. Unrestricted, 250K to 500K. The contractor that was CDW, they'll probably help them purchase that. Length of performance, 12 months. All right. I'm going for 5 years. But at least you know, and this is the other thing people got to realize, like places like CDW and all of them, they also work with the government. They also work with the government. So I'll post this in I don't know where I'll post this at. I don't know, random or something like that. I don't know. but it's actually straight from their website. All right, let's go. We're gonna start with Petty T this morning. I thought this was an interesting topic here. I watched it. I actually watched the clip and then I went and found the article. She is a 22-year-old female that is inheriting 1.5 million from her grandfather, and she's due to get married in November. And she asked should she get a prenup. She's 22, uh, and inheriting 1.5 million. Little background. She's dating. She's engaged to the guy, but he's decided to not to stop working some. He doesn't want to work any as much as he used to. So let's get into the article. All right, Molly from Austin, Texas, called in with a pressing question. She recently received a 1.5 million inheritance and plans to marry in November. She wanted to know if she should get a prenuptial agreement. Additionally, not Ramsey's not an advocate for it, but let's get into it. Molly's significant inheritance is the sum of cash, stocks, and business notes from her grandfather's business. Before that, she only had $10,000, so she is relatively new in handling large sums of money. On the other hand, her fiance does not have significant financial resources and was planning to take over his parents' Mosquito Joe franchise business. He's done some work to start it up, but I'm a little concerned that the inheritance has made him less, or it has created less pressure for him to work. Ramsey immediately responding, that's a different question. Do I need a prenuptial agreement? Okay. That is, you need pre-marriage counseling. He emphasized money does not cause people to have problems. It exposes their problems. It magnifies the good and the bad in in you and him. He suggested that the real issue at hand was not the prenuptial, but the relationship dynamics and the underlying issues that needed to be addressed through intensive marital counseling. Rachel Cruz, which is Dave Ramsey's daughter, echoed the sentiment, highlighted the importance of transitioning from high school romance to marriage. She recommended that Molly and her fiance seek professional counseling to address their concerns to prepare for significant life changes ahead. Ramsey did acknowledge that prenups can be beneficial in certain situations. He explained, the reason I would tell you yes on a prenuptial is not because of what not because of what you're concerned about with him. It's because anytime there's a great disparity, like a huge pile of money, like you've got versus no money like he's got, it brings out the weirdness in the extended families. The story continues. He elaborated that a prenuptial could help manage the potential influence of the extended family on Molly's finance and help set clear boundaries regarding her inheritance. However, he stressed that while a prenuptial can be helpful in her situation, it is not a way to fix her future spouse, nor is it a solution to the relationship issues. Day's advice draws attention to the broader implication of financial disparities in relationships and the importance of addressing these issues head on. Money can exacerbate and create new problems, making open communication and professional guidance an important step. So I'm gonna stop right there. He should have told her to put it not just in a not get a prenup, but actually put that to in some type of estate or some type of annuity to protect prior to marriage. And um even I would even probably even take it one step further, because this is what happened with me. When I was going through my divorce, my when I was signing up for my 401k and so forth and so on, they were like, we don't know how long your divorce is going to be, but here you need to get this to your soon to be ex-husband whenever that happens, and say that you would not come after my 401k. And that came from a lawyer and a financial advisor on day one on starting the job, right? Um, Sherry Wood said, yes, marriages at the age tend not to be successful. Um, as Taylor said, he's ready to live off that money. Well, he probably wants her to take some of that money to invest it into that business, more than likely. But she could give him the 10,000. Like I'm gonna do like I'm gonna laugh like what's his name? What's his name? Uh what is the tight end? Oh, Club Shay Shay. It says consultant and advisor. Okay, so there were comments on this. Let's go to the comment section. All right. Let me see. Do they pop up? I clicked on comments. Let me see. Do I need to back out? I don't see them. Oh, here they go, right here. All right. I'll blow it back up. Here's the comments. Let's go. Prenup most need to know what debts each partner is carrying and each one's earning potential. They must discuss and disclose before joining hands, hearts, and finances. Absolutely, prenup. A big concern is the inheritance has made him feel less pressure to work. There is your big red flag. Just live together and see how things go. Otherwise, you will be supporting him instead of both of you contributing. He's done some work on the startup, but I'm a little concerned. She answered her own question. Straight up slacker who feels entitled to her money. This would not end well. I would delay marriage. Or indefinitely and protect my money before signing any dotted line. Scrump that. People that have not made money don't know how to manage money. They will live beyond their means, use it all up, and end up poorer than they started. Number one, don't get married. Number two, if you can stop yourself, get an ironclad prenup. Over half of the marriages in divorce. If he takes off with one of your friends in 6 months, do you really want to give that new couple $750,000 to start? Inherited funds are yours, but any commingling of funds makes it half of his. That is correct. Prenup has nothing to do with expectations. Will he want you to spend your money so you both can have a bigger house, new car, vacations, gaming, TV, pay his bills? Will he want to spend your money? You will always have more than him. You will handle this. Will you buy a new car and he can't afford one? Will you have new clothes but he won't? It's not about what he receives if you break up. A prenup can help this, but it is how you live with this kind of money. This can destroy a marriage. What you saying? This is from you fellas. This is what y'all say. Fellas say, They say the answer would be to set up a trust only in her name. I agree. Put 1.25 million in the trust, invest it with a quality name firm, or leave it where it's at. Um, take the 0.25 million, put it in the same advisor, and put it in money market funds only in her name. The money market will provide $1,000 every month to either enhance the quality of life or be an emergency fund. Don't commingle any of the principal. Only withdraw and put it in separate accounts. They both need to keep working to build wealth separate from these funds. See what's the response to that? Excellent advice. Close to what I was going to say, but I think instead 250,000, I would make it 500,000. Share the monthly interest returns with him. It would certainly make him feel better and protect her original inheritance. Allow that million to grow for retirement. Please never do business with Raymond James, UBS, or LPL Financial. Predatory fees not explained with transparency. I would suggest Vanguard, Fidelity, or Charles Schwab. What do you all think? Should she put it in a trust? Should she share it? Should she share it? Should she not even worry about a prenup and share it with him? If the shoe was on the other foot, would the guy share his inherited wealth with the woman? Would he throw it in a joint bank account that they have together and be like, "Baby, it's all us, baby. It's for me and you." Put it in the comments. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. On another note, have y'all? I know you all been watching the Olympics, but the Olympic swimming pools have been heated by an AI data center. I thought this was pretty cool. Blow it up. All right. So the Paris Summer Olympics, a data center owned by American firm Equinix. We've talked about them before as a data center REIT. A data center REIT is using excess heat produced by numerous servers in its facility to funnel heat that keeps the swimming pool at the nearby Paris Olympics Aquatic Center warm for competitors. The AI data center consumes significant amounts of energy to power vast arrays of servers that use data to train language models or large language models, LLMs, that form AI applications like ChatGPT, cooling those servers, which heat put out heats upwards of 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It's done with the use of fans and liquid cooling systems. The data center called PA10 opened in 2023 at the company's campus in Saint Denis, France, and is designed for high density server setups uh, that can train AI models and feature the use of the company's heat exporting technology. So I don't know if y'all caught the synchronized swimming and so forth, right? All right. The company told Wire it expects that there were 6.6 thermal megawatts of heat exported from the building when it operates at full capacity, which is equivalent to more than 1,000 homes. To help heat the pool at the Olympic Aquatic Center, Equinix worked with a French utility company called Engie to export the excess heat produced by the data center by piping it to Engie's energy system. From there, the heat goes to the aquatic center, where it heats the pool as well as providing heat to about 600 homes in the neighborhood and nearby businesses. Right? The arrangement is also helpful to Equinix, which can use less energy in running the extensive cooling systems because of the excess heat being exported. Equinix has also bought a rooftop greenhouse on top of the data center where strawberries, tomatoes, and other plants are grown with the help of the heat from the exported facility. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Right? Like I say, Equinix is a REIT. Um right here. You can get into that right here. It tells you about it right here. I'll read it from here. AI and cloud momentum driving growth. Equinix is a real estate investment trust, focuses on interconnected data centers. Yeah, it's a REIT. So you can check that REIT out as well too. All right. So got the 22-year-old, got the data center REIT. Let's go on over here to Warren Buffett. All right, Warren Buffett breaks up with the Gates Foundation. Originally, he had set up all his money to go to the Gates Foundation. Were y'all aware of that? So so Buffett's decision to put his money into a foundation controlled by his kids is a mistake. That's what they say. It originally was going to Bill Gates, the Gates Foundation. But that love affair is over. Let's talk about it. It's been an eventful couple of weeks, so much that I would think I will ultimately prove one of 2024's most important revelations largely flew under the radar. This revelation that 93-year-old Warren Buffett, who estimated fortune is 137 billion, makes him the fifth richest person in the U.S., will no longer give his fortune on his death to the Gates Foundation, as it had long been planned. Instead, it will go to a trust where his three adult children would decide what to do with it. Now, before he was criticized about not leaving them anything. I think he put some stuff in a nonprofit form or something like that. But he's like, nah, these my babies. I'm gonna leave it to my babies. All right. The Gates Foundation has no money coming after my death, Buffett told Wall Street Journal. I feel very, very good about the values my three children, and I 100% trust in how they were carrying things out. The philanthropic trust Buffett intends to set up will rapidly become the world's largest charitable foundation, endowed with the kind of funding that could conceivably save lives by the millions, but in reality it seems very unlikely to actually help the world. Why is that? Buffett has said that to spend the money he's leaving, there will have to be a unanimous agreement among his three children. One issue there is that they all have very different interests. Susie Buffett has an existing foundation that thrives in bringing social justice in Nebraska, where she and Warren Buffett live. Howard Buffett, who has served as a county sheriff in Illinois, has attracted criticism for his private volunteer border control efforts in Arizona. Peter Buffett, who is based in Kingston, New York, has a foundation that supports initiatives that promote holistic, interconnected, and healing vision for humanity. These are three very distinctive visions of how to bring about change in the world. And as people quickly observe, three eccentrics have to agree on how to spend $135 billion. How would you spend if Warren Buffett was your daddy? If he was your pappy, how would you spend his money if you were one of the three? Peter Investor, thanks for the $5 super sticker. We appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. Are you the pappy, Peter Investor? Are you out here creating trust and foundations for your children? What are you guys gonna do with $135 billion? Right? Let's continue. Does Buffett owe it to the world to give away his fortune at all? Let alone, I argue that yes, he does. Does he owe it to the world to give away his fortune? Does Warren Buffett owe the black community? Does Warren Buffett owe the black community reparations? All right, if Buffett thinks, as he has been indicated, that the Gates Foundation, to which he has already given 40 billion to, is headed in the wrong direction, he can absolutely do something different, but he should be aspiring to do something better than this. He ain't got to do nothing better than that. To his children, he's giving it to his children. He ain't got to do nothing better. He's done his part. I don't think he needs to do anything. He could break off a couple of 2 billion and give it to whoever, and that should suffice. You know what? I ain't looking for nothing, right? So Why did solid steps to wealth? Thank you for saying skill set takeover. I did want to bring this up. I did want to bring this up. So everybody's talking about um Kamala, you want to say Miss Harris and all of that stuff, right? And this goes back into skill sets. And it's like what has she done? What is she gonna do, or what has she done for the black community? And my question is gonna always be this, and this is across the board. And this is just how I look at it. What have you personally done for the black community or the people around you yourself, holding yourself accountable? And what is it that you want for someone like Kamala or Biden or any of the other presidents to do for the black community? What is it that the president should be doing for the black community? Because when I hear community, I hear local. I'm just saying. I know, off topic, but these are things that I'll be thinking about. All right. We covered that. All right. So I don't know if y'all been catching the next 2 weeks, all these all everybody selling off and having buybacks. Sell off and buybacks. I don't know if y'all been keeping up with that. And do you know what a buyback is? We're going to talk about a buyback. All right, so let's talk about it. What it means and why companies do it. Let me see, because yeah, the U.S. to launch a $50 billion Treasury buyback program. I don't know if y'all been keeping up with that, so that's why I'm talking about buybacks. But it's been a lot of buybacks, a lot of company buybacks as well too. Right? Yeah, the $50 billion Treasury buyback program. Let me show you. And we're gonna talk about it. The U.S. government, this happened 2 days ago, launches a $50 billion Treasury buyback program to boost liquidity, 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 and manage bond supply. Buyback program aims to stabilize markets by reducing Treasury supply, while market anticipates potential rate cuts. Yep, Apple is doing a buyback as well too. That's where I was supposed to talk about this last week. But now that the Treasury, I was waiting to see what they were gonna say as well too. So now we're starting to see this. We already saw sell-offs. We saw Nvidia drop down. I think what Nvidia dropped down to $100 now or something like that. We saw the drop in Nvidia. We're gonna hold on. I'm gonna hold on until it come back. Right. So all right, buyback. Let's look at Apple. Yeah, Apple is repurchasing right here. Yep. Apple just came out on May 15th. Apple planning $110 billion stock buyback. And here is why. Let's go to it and then we're gonna circle back to what it means, right? All right, cool. All right, Apple maker iPhones, Mac computers has just announced its plan to spend a whopping 110 billion to buy back shares of his own stock from investors who own them. Richard Ward Poole College uh, finance professor and associate dean for faculty and research explains why companies like Apple do buybacks and what it means. First, some background on buybacks, which is sometimes called repurchases. Repurchases. Think of them as the company is going shopping for its own stocks. They announce their plan, then start buying shares, usually on the stock market at the current market price. But sometimes the company will offer a tender offer or a fixed price they're willing to pay. So, or it might even negotiate directly with the big shareholders. After the buyback, the company has spent some of its cash, and there are fewer of its shares in the market available for investors to trade. Right. So Apple isn't new to large buybacks. The company did a $100 billion buyback in 2018 and continued through 2021 and 2023 with 90 billion each year. Apple seems to Apple seems to see buybacks as an effective way to distribute profits back to those who own their stock in addition to dividends, which are regular payouts to shareholders. By choosing big annual buybacks over large dividends, Apple keeps things flexible. It's like having an option rather than committing to ongoing payments that don't respond to how well the business does each year. There are many reasons, and most often of them are tied to delivering value to stakeholders. Here are the most common. Investing extra cash. If a company has more money than it needs for things like developing new products or growing the business, it might use some of that money to buy back shares. That gives shareholders extra cash they can invest somewhere else. Buying undervalued stock. Sometimes a company thinks its shares are selling for less than they were really worth. By buying back shares at these discounted prices, they believe they're getting good value for the money. And restoring share value. Companies sometimes give their employees special options to buy shares as part of their pay package. The employees use these options, it can increase the total number of shares available, diluting everyone's slices of the pie. Buybacks can help balance this out. So again, buybacks. Last one, tweaking the debt equity balance. Imagine balancing on a seesaw with debt on one side and shareholder equity on the other. Companies want to keep that balance just right. Buybacks can reduce shareholder equity, helping maintain that optimal balance between how much debt and equity financing the company has. Right? And they're going on to that. So let's go back over here to the buyback here on Investopedia. A buyback is a company purchase of outstanding stocks or shares. Buyback reduce the number of shares available to the open market. Company usually buy back shares of their stock to increase the value of the remaining shares. Right. So they go into um, understanding buyback. Buybacks are also known as share repurchase. They allow companies to invest in themselves, reducing the number of shares outstanding, so forth. Okay, here. A company may launch a buyback because it believes its shares are undervalued and to provide investors with a better return. It increases the proportion of earnings that each share is worth. The stock price will rise if the same PE PE ratio is maintained, price to earnings. By reducing the number of existing shares, each share is worth a greater percentage of the corporation. The stock's earnings per share (EPS) thus increases while the PE ratio decreases or the stock price increases. All right, and they go into other reasons. So the question is, would you be participating in Apple's buyback? So here it is. Buybacks are carried out in two ways. The shareholders might be presented with a tender offer, which gives them the option to submit or tender all portions of their shares with a given time frame at a premium to the current market price. This premium compensates investors for tendering their shares rather than holding on to them. Number two, a company may buy back shares on the open market over an extended period of time, sometimes using a schedule that purchases shares at certain times or irregular intervals. A company may fund its buyback by taking on debt with cash on hand or with its cash flow from operations. Right? Macamill said, I remember someone saying something by October they're starting to use up all of their profits be before, I guess you're saying before the year's end. Right? So again, will you be participating? How many of y'all have bonds? Are you going to be participating in the bond buyback, right? The treasury buyback from the treasury buyback program? How many of you have Apple stock? Are you participating in that? There's more buybacks that are coming out. Are you going to participate? And what is the tax implications on that as well too? Like you sell, is there what are the capital gains on that? What does all that look like? Right? All right. So just something to think about. Let's go here. Let's start some trash. Let's get some trash going here. Nah, not that one. This one. All right. Half of the baby boomers and Gen Xers are poised to run out of money, but millennials are in a better spot. Half of the baby boomers and the Gen Xers are poised to run out of money. They're gonna be sitting on the millennials' couches. They're gonna be sitting in the ADUs. Y'all gonna put y'all parents in them ADUs in the back of your houses. How many people are willing to let their parents come stay with them if they got into a rough patch? Let's see. Put a one in the chat for letting your parents stay with you, or put a two in the chat for no. I just want to see how I know my crew is selfish. This is a selfish crew. This is a selfish crew. I'm expecting to see a lot of twos. Ones or twos. Oh, we got a one coming in. Oh, okay. We got a one. Oh, look at that. I thought we had the selfish crew. What the twos at? Your parents can come stay with you. Oh, look at here. Bless your heart. Sherwood is going to share with the people. Oh, we didn't have no twos come up. Mm-mm-mm. Your parents can come stay with y'all. Y'all gonna cook and clean. You're gonna make sure they get to the doctor. Oh, look at here. We got some nice people today. This must be the nice crew. This must be the nice crew. Celeste Codes, I hear you. Oh, I can't read it because I gotta sign in. I don't want to do that. Okay, let's move on. He won the New York, the NYC housing lottery after applying more than 60 times. Now he's paying $2,300 a month in rent for his Brooklyn apartment. Josh Alia, 26, won the New York City Affordable Housing Lottery after applying for about a year. His monthly rent for his studio apartment in Greenpoint, Brooklyn is $23.45. The average ratio for a housing lottery is 450 applications for each rental unit. Come on, my mom is independent too. Don't feel alone. When he first received a call about the Brooklyn apartment he applied for in New York City affordable housing lottery, he was surprised. In February 2023, more than 8 months since he sent in his application for the apartment building. I was like, wait, what? I forgot I applied to this. The affordable housing lotteries are run by New York City Department of Housing Preservation and Development, or HPD, and Housing Development Corporation. Uh, Alia was 21 when he first learned about the program from a colleague at his old job. Someone was talking about New York City Housing Connect, and they mentioned how you could move into new buildings with affordable rent. I wasn't ready to move out yet, but I thought it was a good program. I want to make sure I want to make sure I apply to this when I do want to move. Fast forward, fast forward 2 years, and it was finally time for him to strike on his own. He was coming from a three-bedroom home in Queens where he lived with his family. At the time, he had just left his job to pursue his passion in the creative field and was accepted into one school, a program aimed at helping Black creatives craft a portfolio in the work in the ad industry. I had already been applying for homes during the program. Literally, as soon as I ended that program and got recruited for a job. That's when I started to hear back from places. That's a picture of his apartment. His bed is in the living room, right? To qualify for the lottery, each household must meet specific income requirements, which varies across developments and depending on one side on unit size and location. Both rental and home ownership units are available, and the application is free. While applicants don't need to be U.S. citizens, NYC residents get priority. Aline Reynolds, the assistant commissioner of housing opportunity of HPD, said. But the competition is stiff. According to HPD, on average, there's 450 applications per rental unit, right? So you got a window. He's got a place. I guess this a Murphy bed, folds up. Um, got his desk to do his creative work or whatnot. And I'm assuming this is the bathroom, and here's everything. So that's what he got. Says what costs the most of a millennial? Housing, transportation, and energy. Yeah, that's the cost for everybody. All right, let's go. So we got folks. I don't want to hear that they say men don't get affordable housing and so forth and whatnot. There's one in New York, but it's a competition. It's stiff. All right. There's a $20 billion data center campus getting the green light in Buckeye. Denver developer finalizes plans to acquire 2,000 acres in the West Valley landowner. Right, a $20 billion master plan data center complex is moving forward after securing go ahead with the city of Buckeye. Denver Based Track will serve as a developer for nearly a 2,000-acre campus that could accommodate hyperscale and wholesale data center operators across dozens of buildings. On August the 6th, Buckeye City Council unanimously approved a new development agreement with the track to reimburse developer up to $50 million in public transportation costs after it generates $60 million in revenue for the city. Where there's data centers, there's jobs. Right? Where there's data centers, there's jobs. 2,100 acres, so Buckeye. So let's go here. See what we got coming back to us. I'm looking up Buckeye jobs. So let me see what's out here. see, medical courier, administrative assistant, document. Okay, it's in Fort Collins, near Fort Collins. So that's near the Air Force Base. So it's jobs around the Air Force Base, and they building a data center. You don't think they're gonna be using that data center? You're crazy, right? So I just looked up general jobs in general. Property manager, sales advisor, right? I'm just looking up jobs in general. So where the data center is going in that, it's gonna be more jobs coming around that. Project marks the beginning of an emerging trend of explosive data center industry. The company owns more than 20,000 acres across the U.S. for numerous master plan sites, such as 11,000 acres near Reno. We can create master plan campuses so that demand is thoughtful and placed in the right location. This helps communities plan for it and helps utilities plan for it so you have fewer transmission lines and gives the data center operators a longer view of certainty for their supply. So those will be jobs working in the data center. Look that up. All right. So I just looked up jobs working in data centers. So here go Chantilly, here go Washington D.C., here go New York. Um, Here's one with Amazon. Here's San Antonio. Here's Maryland. Here's Leesburg, entry level data technician, Kansas City, Genesis 10, lead IT analyst, data center and cloud, manager of a data center in Miami. People looking for entry level jobs. This is how you can find it. Oh, there's plenty of data centers in Atlanta already. I talked about that. They're out there. They're building them out there. 4,300 acres that got purchased out there by Amazon and up in Conyers, along the exit, end up in what's that? The Conyers, Covington. So plenty, and you can filter out by data centers in Atlanta, right? Production operations engineer intern, data center project manager, data center mission critical commissioning agent, data center cloud senior associate PWC. Like the list goes on here. And you can come in from an 80 to $100,000, if not more, on some of these data center jobs. You just gotta know which one to pull from, right? Senior project manager, senior data center energy program manager. That's with Meta. Data center engineer, right? And all your big ISPs, I should say, yeah, not ISP, but places like Rackspace, data centers, right? So Rackspace has data centers, right? And the data centers that they have people working in them, right? So I'll be looking at places like a Rackspace that have data centers so I could go work at those data centers if I want to get some entry. Yep. Plenty of data center jobs. Like you don't have to do help desk. You could do data center jobs and get exposed to a lot of things, from backups to automation to AI to machine learning to high performance computing. I mean, it's just like it just gives you a lens to say, "Oh, I don't like doing that work. I like doing this. I want to know more about this work. All right. So data centers. All right. So now let's move over to this. This is ridiculous. Background check company breached, nearly 3 billion people exposed. 3 billion. 3 billion people. This You might be affected by the biggest data breaches ever and not even know it. A recent class action lawsuit against Jericho Pictures Inc., a background check company that does business under the name National Public Data, claims that the company was breached by hackers earlier this year. As a result of the lawsuit, confidential data of 2.9 billion was exposed and stolen by a hacker group known as USDDOD. Making matters even worse, those affected by the cybersecurity attack may not even know they could be involved. National Public Data reported gathers its data by scraping information about individuals from non-public sources without their knowledge or consent. The exposed information contains very details for nearly 3 billion people, which includes their full names, former, current address, social security numbers, as well as personal data tied to family members, relatives who are both living and deceased. They got your whole lifeline. The breach was previously unknown to the public. It's unclear when exactly the breach occurred. The plaintiff, Christoph Hoffman, says he only became aware of the issue when an identity theft protection service notified him in July that his personal data had been compromised and leaked onto the dark web. The group posted a national public data database containing leaked information on the dark web forum in April and sought 3.5 million for a potential buyer. Just last month, Mashable reported Rock U 2024, another large data leak, which saw 10 billion users' passwords, credentials being exposed. However, that data was updated, complication of previous leaks and breaches from years earlier. With billions exposed, the national public data breach appears to be one of the biggest single data breaches ever, seemingly rivaled by the 2013 data breach of Yahoo, which affected 3 billion accounts. Mashable has reached out to National Public Data for a comment, and will update if they hear anything. 3 billion people. You're supposed to have insurance. You're supposed to have insurance. All right. Let me see. What my time looking like? Okay, cool. All right. Let's talk about this, and then we'll talk about the jobs, and uh yeah, and we'll get out of here. 1 second. Mm, yeah. All right, let's talk about these jobs. So this is a help desk job right here out of Orlando. Um, you will need to get a security clearance. They will be providing one. Um, you'll be working with LSTAT. You got to get your Security Plus. Must possess 3 years of experience of IT systems, extensive software knowledge, some knowledge of ELK, understanding TCP/IP, ability to read, so forth. I think this lead one, I think this one is 100. So things like Kubernetes, Itio, API gateways, GitOps, Terraform, Ansible, Elastic, Postgres, pretty true. This will be no remote, but it'll be a IT help desk group lead out of Orlando. Um, you will be working with someone you know. uh, and there's 3 positions, possibly 5 positions that are open. One is a lead, and the other one is a moderator. And that one pays around about 70. I posted this, yeah, program help desk moderator right here. I posted this in Slack. Those that are looking to work in Orlando and get a clearance, let me know. Um so I could put your name in the mix and go from there. We'll be doing one-on-one soon. We should be. Won't be this week. This week kind of rough. Probably could open them up for next week. All right. So that's one. And then two, I saw these jobs. Tesla, Palo Alto, Tesla, AI, DevSecOps in California, Chantilly, SME, Sec DevOps 304. Let me see. Infrastructure is code, blah, 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 blah. Git, Jenkins, Confluence. That's right. So now let's go look up Paraton benefits. All right. Medical, vision, TRICARE, supplement. That's that. Financial savings, 401k with an employer match. HSA, pet insurance. They don't say if they 25% or what. And then they got career development, professional development program, certification, tuition assistance, student loan assistance, skills training courses, and more. Palantir's gonna continue to get an uptick. Yep, jobs and jobs, right? So there's 3 jobs out here in Orlando. And then I want to show y'all the other ones that that are everybody keeps saying that people aren't hiring, but on the infrastructure side, we haven't stopped hiring. I don't know what to say about everything else. The whole DevSecOps infrastructure, uh, automation, Terraform, Ansible, OpenShift, Kubernetes. We're still hiring. We're still looking for people. Apple. See what they want with this one. They are a Sion is a world-class research and development organization that is passionate about creating incredible experiences for our software engineers. Those great experiences ensure we can deliver exceptional solutions and so forth. Let me see. E-commerce. So here's their other jobs that they have. Um, It's been up there for 30 plus days, 239 to 359. What would you do with 359 a year? That comes out to be your gross would be 29,000 a month gross. That is what it is gross. Could you make it off of that? That's your gross. Let's go with the you'll be at like something like 0.65, something like that. Roughly about 20,000 a month. Can you make it on 20,000 a month? I know some people that can't, but can you make it on $20,000 a month? Let me look and make sure I didn't leave out anything. Yep, we talked about that. I said I was gonna talk about this, D. $3 billion. Oh, it's off OFC mean. I'm old. All right, so St. Pete's resilient costs could surpass 3 billion. I was trying to figure out what they were talking about, but let's get into it. Let's see. This is what you want of course, when you all want to talk about what changes can happen to you locally. These are the things y'all should be looking at, right? The city council members. Who's your city council members and what do they do? All right, so the council accepted a $280,000 grant from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection that reimburses costs of comprehensive vulnerability study. An $80,000 agreement with the Tampa Bay Regional Planning Council to develop a resilient St. Pete action plan. Also received a unanimous approval. All right, so they're looking that the city oversees about $8 to $10 billion in assets. He noted that the first step to bolstering climate resilience is discerning vulnerabilities. We will be identifying those critical assets in the city that are prone to severe flooding. Oh, we already know one place that two places automatically. We're going to be assessing the risk level and the consequences of flooding through sea level rise and increased storm intensity. We made it through the storm, right? So this is where that 3 billion comes in. Uh, St. Pete Water Plant estimated almost $3 billion worth of work to bring all those water resources up to standard, up to sustainability and resilience standards. All right, so your local city council. All right. So your local city council is the governing body of a city or a town or municipal legislative body. City council members, also known as aldermen, selectmen, trustees, freeholders, or commissioners or councilors, are elected officials who create policies to govern their districts. They ensure that the new and the current laws serve the needs of the people who work in that area. So again, are elected officials who create policies to govern their districts. What district are you in, and what has your city council member done for you lately? Right? With the Janet Jackson shoulder pads. Right? City council is responsible for adopting the city budget, levying taxes, and making or amending city laws, policies, and ordinance. And then they got what I guess here what each member does. Let's look and see. Council meetings take 2 to 3 hour long. Agenda packets range from 3 to 500 pages. Yeah, they don't give much, but they do give you like what to expect. So the city manager is responsible for operationally executing the policy established by the city council, and it's the sole hiring authority for all positions of employment in the city, except for the department heads, which requires some concurrence of council. Right? Know what's going on with your city council. Know what laws and policies that they're putting out. This is how you learn about stuff that's local. What economic development plan do they have for the city? Right? What is the economic development plan that they have for your city? You should know that. If you're not looking all this stuff up, I don't know what to tell you. Right? You're gonna always be behind waiting on someone to put their hand out. They ain't got nothing to give. They ain't got nothing to give. So this it for us today. I'm gonna let y'all go early today. It's it. I know. I know. I know. I mean, I got more, but I'm gonna let y'all go early. Y'all have fun. I try to do one Monday. I try. I can't promise, but I try. All right, y'all be safe.